What's up, everybody? Mr. Forrest here with a video for you. Today we're going to do some balloon animals. I'm going to introduce you guys to the fun world of balloon sculpting. And we're going to start with some of the simplest twists, but these simple twists are the foundation for all the other twists. So, if you have them, you can follow along. If you don't have them, just watch. And whenever you can get some, grab some. So first, let's talk about the materials that I like to use. The kind of balloons I like to use, the brand is called Qualitex. And the kind of Qualitex that I like to use are called 260Q. Now, the Q is for Qualitex, and the 260 is this. When you inflate the balloon will measure 2 inches in diameter. And when you inflate the balloon, it will measure 60 inches in length. That is why it is called a 260Q. Now, you can find cheaper versions of these at Walmart. You could probably even find some at the dollar store. They're not going to hold up as well, but it's a cheap alternative and a good way for you to learn how to do balloons. The second piece of equipment that I recommend is getting a balloon pump. Now, you can get these at Walmart or Target, and they're very inexpensive. The reason I use these is for health purposes. Believe it or not, blowing one of these up is far more difficult than you would think. A lot of people say, oh, I'll just blow that up, and they're like, and they're killing brain cells, and they can't necessarily blow it up. I had a friend in college who was actually an opera singer, so he knew how to use his diaphragm, even to properly inflate these with the mouth. However, he got a hernia from blowing these up. So I do not recommend blowing these up by mouth. I rather recommend using one of these pumps. This is a two-way pump. So each way, both in and out, is going to inflate air into the balloon. There's an intake here in the front and one here in the back. So it's a very efficient way to blow up the balloon. So let's talk about preparing the balloon. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to give the balloon a stretch. What a stretch does is it loosens up the balloon and makes it less likely to pop. So give it a good stretch. Then you'll inflate the balloon with the pump. And you're going to want to leave a tail. This is called a tail. The reason you do that is the more you twist, the more the balloon becomes tighter. And you want to have tail so that when you twist the balloon, it won't get too tight and then pop. Next, you're going to want to burp the balloon. So before you tie it, you're going to burp it. You just do this. I'll do it right into the microphone because it's fun. That makes the balloon softer. That gives it a little bit more tail. Then you're going to tie the balloon. And now your balloon is ready to be twisted. If you cannot tie a balloon, I would recommend using an older brother or sister or your mom and dad to help you. However, it is beneficial to learn how to tie a balloon yourself because you can do this without any help from that point on. And in the summertime, you can tie your own water balloons to throw at your brother. So today we're going to make a sword. A sword is the simplest balloon item that I can think of to make, but is foundational for making other items, as you'll see in just a moment. So when I make the sword, I'm going to fold the balloon over. Now, this is about 9 or 10 inches. You can do more or you can do less depending on how big you want the handle of the sword. I'm going to go about 9 or 10 inches. So my balloon looks like this. Next, I'm going to do the exact same thing, but I'm going to fold this side over like this. Then I'm going to pinch right in the center. So I've made this kind of like an S or a Z. I am going to push all these together and I'm going to squeeze right here. Now, when you just start twisting balloons, you might be like skittish or scared, like the balloon's going to pop. It's okay. Balloons pop all the time. Not a big deal. But these 260Qs are less likely to pop than the Walmart or the dollar store brand. So that's why I like these. They don't pop as easily. They hold up far better. So again, you make the Z, you squeeze here. Now I'm going to take this part and this part. And with my other hand, I'm going to grab. Now I'm going to do right where I'm squeezing one big twist like this. Watch. So now I let go, and the sword might look like this, so you're going to make little adjustments. I'm just going to twist these. I'm going to take this. I'm going to move it up. I'm going to straighten this. Now, if you want to drive your parents crazy, make this sound. And if you're wearing headphones right now, you're welcome. And so my balloon sword still has a little bit of a tail, because I was burping it more than I normally would. So to get rid of the tail, I'm just going to squeeze like this. And now I have a sword. If you make two swords, you can sword fight with your sister, or your cat, or your hamster, or your pet rock. But something to know about balloons is they're obviously balloons. Even though it looks like a sword, sometimes when I make these for kids, they think as if they're real swords, they can take them outside and like sword fight with trees and stuff. Guess what's going to happen if you sword fight with a tree? Yeah, it's going to pop. So just sword fight with other balloons. Be careful with it. If you hang on to this, if you take it outside, don't set it on the ground. Don't touch anything sharp. But if you take care of these, they will last you about a week. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you make the sword. So the next item we're going to make, utilizing the same twist as we did with the sword, is the balloon flower. So I'm going to start with a green. In this particular bag, this looks like black, but once I pump it up, you'll see that it's green. So again, we're going to stretch it. I'm going to inflate it. Don't forget to leave a little tail like this. Then I'm going to tie it. The way I tie it is I use two fingers like this. I wrap it around two fingers. I squeeze this through and do that. Okay, I'm going to just lay this balloon aside for now as I inflate another one. Now, you can think about what you like, what colors you like in your flower, and pick those out ahead of time. I've chosen green and pink. So I'm going to stretch it, inflate it. And you don't want a lot of tail in this one. I'm just going to go with tiny tail. Burp it. Tie it. Now, here's the first part in making the flower. You're going to tie the balloon nozzle to the balloon tail. And so it's going to look like a loop like this. Okay? Right in the middle here, I'm going to push these sides together. It's going to look like a bow tie. And I'm going to twist several times so the twist stays. Then we're going to fold it over like this. So you got your glasses. You're going to fold it over. And then just like you did before, you're going to push here. Now there's going to be four, almost like a butterfly. And like we did with the sword, we're going to squeeze here. Pinch and squeeze. Grab these two sides. And we're going to twist forward. If you want to watch that again, you can just rewind the video and watch it again and again until you completely understand. If you want to watch that again, you can just rewind the video and watch it again and again until you completely understand. Now I'll put this one aside. I'm going to grab this one. Now, if you want to get fancy, I'm going to show you guys something cool. You don't have to do this, but you can. I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to push the nozzle in. Can you see my finger in there? With this hand, I'm going to pinch the nozzle and I'm going to slowly work my finger out. I do that by doing like this. I'm rolling with my other fingers that out. Then I'm going to twist right here so that the nozzle is on this side. Not on this side, but on this side. And what I've done is I've made a pig nose twist. You can see how the pig nose look to it, but that's going to be the top of the flower. Okay, now I'm going to squeeze a little here. It'll get rid of the rest of the tail. And basically you're going to do your sword fold. Remember, a little bigger than a sword though, as far as the Z goes. Remember you make the Z? You pinch right in the middle. And you twist and twist. So basically I have a sword with this thing on the end. Basically. But this becomes the stem of the flower. I then take the petals that I made, and I'm just going to work this on like this. And then I just move it around to where it looks good from the top. And I have just made a balloon flower. And you can smell. It even smells like a balloon. So that's how to do the balloon flower. Feel free to rewind and watch it again. So the sword is the foundation for the flower. So by doing beginner balloons, we learn the foundation to do more balloons in the future. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of, we'll call it, Crafting with the Chapmans. And we're going to be putting out more and more videos, so make sure you give this video a like. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. And I'll see you guys next time. Mr. Forrest out.